jumping ship, you know, in our climb. Now, due to the rate of infiltration of bandits, Boko Haram and ISWAP elements who are being flushed out from northwest and northeast forests to the southwest, the governors in the zone rose from its meeting and vowed to counter any form of security threats to the region. So the governors therefore agreed to appoint special advisors on security in each state to serve on a joint surveillance monitoring team to be established in the southwest as part of efforts to coordinate security efforts across the region. For instance, Governor of Lagos State and Chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, stated this while briefing the media on the resolution of the almost 4-hour meeting held at the Lagos House, Ikeja. Emeka, it was a session, I dare say.
Yeah, it's actually been long in coming.
But we do have a package to underscore what I just read. So our senior correspondent, Adedoja Salam Adeni, was there, and let's listen to her report.
This is the second time the forum is meeting. The last was in June 2024. At the last, some of the governors were absent, but this was attended by Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, Governor of Ekiti State, Abiodun Yebanji, Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, and Governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke. The meeting commenced at exactly 12:14 p.m., but the media was excused shortly after.
As you can see, they all took this meeting very, very seriously.
After meeting behind closed doors for over 4 hours, the host governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, briefed the media. A communique outlining their resolutions and decisions on key issues affecting the region topped their agenda. But first, they commended President Bola Tinubu for economic stability.
The forum commends His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the economic stability and improvements recorded across the nation, particularly in the sustained supply and distribution of petroleum products and the stabilization of the exchange rate. The forum urges its citizens to continue supporting the President's effort at strengthening the economy and to improve the overall well-being of all Nigerians. The forum applauds the federal government for the successful implementation of the student loan scheme under the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, which has benefited Southwest students in tertiary institutions.
In the interest of regional security, the governors unanimously agreed to establish a joint surveillance and monitoring team. They also outlined plans to address rising inflation.
The forum strongly condemns any threats to the region's security, therefore encourages the enhanced collaboration between the Nigerian police force and our various local security outfits, while urging them to remain vigilant. The forum also commits to taking necessary action to counter any form of threats into the region. The forum, recognizing the need for food security, we encourage what we see as an ongoing collaborative effort among our Southwest states and implementing measures which is aimed at reducing and curbing inflation in the entire region.
The purpose of the gathering is to promote regional cooperation and development, as well as address pressing issues affecting the zone and Nigeria as a whole. Adedoja Salam Adeniyi, TVC News, Lagos.
Thank you, Doja. Yeah, Emeka, Southwest kind of beginning to feel the heat, if you see what I mean.
Well, it's been long, in coming. Remember, Amotekun was, pushed by the late governor, Arakuri, yes, Akeredolu, SA of Ondo State. He went, all out. He talked to his, fellow governors, and his efforts actually even motivated some governors outside the Southwest to look into, vigilance policing, what I call people-driven policing. Because you hear the police, the Nigerian police talking about community policing. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about people-driven policing, policing driven by the people. You see something, you say something. you take ownership of the security of your place. So you don't allow undesirable elements to have any place, in your area.
Any form of incursion.
Yeah, because you can set up 10 police stations in one place. They don't know who comes in, they don't know who goes out. But the people who are there are people who are there who see and who hear stories about people who are there. And so he did so much, but somehow it didn't really resonate with, let's say, especially Lagos State. Because
are you suggesting there's no Amotekun in Lagos?
We would have been seeing them everywhere now. We would have been seeing them. I mean, Amotekun, when you go around the Southwest, you see, and you hear about the things they are doing. I know, I've heard about maybe that there are pockets of Amotekun in some places in Lagos, which I've not confirmed. But you see, it's one thing for the policing to be driven by the people. It's another thing for the government to fund it. You can see, for instance, in Anambra State, towns had their own vigilante groups. They were doing their best, but they were having issues with paying salaries, getting equipment, vehicles, and all, maintaining those vehicles. But when the governor now bought into it and said, yes, we have Anambra Vigilante Services, but we are going to now fund it. We are going to now take ownership in conjunction with the people. You can now see how, they've been flushing out undesirable elements. That is how it should be, a collaboration between the government and the people to make the society safe. I congratulate the Southwest governors for finally coming together across party lines, not looking at, party lines, coming across party lines to say, yes, we must make the Southwest a desirable place, an international destination that people can come to, move around any time of the day, feel free, engage in, legitimate and lawful activities. And, when they leave, when they go to other places, they will have good stories to tell. Because otherwise, one of the problems we have in Nigeria today is rampant drug abuse, And when you allow such things to proliferate, people think they can be above the law.
We cannot just drug rampant substance abuse too.
So, yes, thank you. Substance abuse. So they think, but the law says it's the state that should have the monopoly of violence. Yeah. But you see non-state actors who want to compete with the state, who holds the monopoly of violence. And you ought to say no, and it's good because Lagos is an international destination. So how would somebody come into Lagos, for instance, and you are afraid of being mugged, or being robbed, or one thing or the other? You are even afraid of stopping at traffic lights in the night because you could be robbed. That's true. That must not be. That should be unacceptable.
Kayode, we say Mr. President is the commander-in-chief, but at the state level, the state governor is not just the first citizen, he's the chief security officer. And I said the other time, governors are powerful to the extent that no president in this country can sign a death warrant. Only a governor can.
Absolutely.
So if the Southwest governors have come together, it's some good news.
Interestingly, I happen to be one of those journalists that was involved when the Dawn Commission was formed about more than 10 years ago. Okay. And we even had the Dawn DG, that's the development agenda for Western Nigeria. Yeah. Dr. Sheye Oyile. And one of the things he also said on the news a few hours ago is the fact that they are having some kind of backings now, some kind of subtle backing from the federal. You recall that this late Akeredolu had a lot of, rough time, the Dawn, with the federal then, because the police, the federal government was saying that it is illegal, it is this, and despite the fact that he was an APC man, he went ahead to say, it has come to stay, we must protect our people. And I love the language Emeka used. This is the first time I'm getting that. People-driven policing, different from, community policing. Yeah. Because community policing is still under the guise of the police that we have. When somebody from the north, somebody from the southeast, who probably don't even know the terrain, and this part is asked to go to the forest, go to the bush, and there are all kinds of silos and camps and all kinds of cells. In these places. But with Amotekun, with people who know the nooks and crannies, working closely with the police for now, because that's what we have. they need to work together. Police should not see them as a threat. Police should not see them as taking the shine of them that are terrains.
See them as partners
in progress. So beyond security, the development is also key. And we look forward because in the real sense, the development is quite slow from the plans they have.
Okay, dear viewer, this is a journalist hangout, the biggest rendezvous for gentlemen of the Fourth Estate of the realm. We'll go on a commercial break now. We should be back. Please stay with us. Thank you.
And cable, great quality, now with the new look.
Okay, folks, welcome back. We were discussing, the healthy development. Southwest governors, are partnering on regional development, especially in regards to security. Yeah, Emeka.
Yeah, you see.
Southwest region, the Amotekun came as a bridge,
Yes.
Lagos is there to feel Amotekun?
No, Lagos had a neighborhood security watch. But I don't know what happened. How come it fizzled out? I don't know, because I think they had this kind of uniform. Was it green?
Yeah.
Or
more like
lemon or something like that? Yes. At the time they were effective, but I don't know what happened. Why they sort of fizzled out. Then you now had the LNSC, Lagos Neighborhood Security Corps. But they mostly see them around bus stops here and there. Some of them riding bicycles, maybe on patrol and all of that. But we need, for them to be seen and felt. The power of the community is strong, must be great, must be felt. And what is it? The fact that the people say we want our state, Lagos State, to be secure, Ogun State, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, to be secured. You cannot deny them of that. That's one. Two, the police, should by now have transcended, the level of just a security agency. The police should go out, educate, traders, people in different communities about security tips. Teach them security tips, because you are the prime agency for, internal security. But you are the one, even when they arrest people and bring to you, using the power of citizen arrest, which is in the law. When they bring people to you, you will still investigate, profile them, and you are the one to prosecute. So it's not as if you are in competition with them. No. But there are places that you cannot get to in time, but they can get ahead of you. So I think all in all, we're talking about state police. All the states have signed up and the FCT. So any moment from now, well, maybe we'll have state police in the laws. So I think the governors by now should have started doing some trial runs of state police, some dry runs of state police, so that when it eventually, becomes a law, they can, run these things as efficiently and effectively as possible.
Kaide, at a time like this, you expect intel, and the police as an institution was key in intelligence gathering. He has talked about, Emeka has talked about educating the masses. Citizen arrest. Do you know we can, as citizens, arrest and hand over to the police authorities, you know, but Nigerians, we are largely, education at this level is still a big problem, a big nut to crack.
Yes, and that's where the Amotekun comes in. They were supposed to bridge that mob action, where a lot of people feel they can take laws into their hands. When they arrest those people, they still give that prosecuting power to where it belongs, which is the police. They will give it back to the police and they will do the needful. But because of time, I just want to touch on this. Maybe we have time to talk about it. You know, beyond the security, they're also talking about food security. They're talking about development across the region. Like I mentioned, a lot of things are slowed down because we are not getting the full buy-in of some of these governors. You know, to have 6 of them fully present without, you know, somebody is not delegating deputy. You know, deputy will still say, let me go back to my Oga to decide. But these are 6 governors, and I can see Seyi Makinde looking at
#1 citizens of the state.
Each state.
You know,
exactly, and I can see
it's a big statement.
Seyi Makinde looking at the communique that okay, this is what we agreed on. It's quite commendable because there are 2 PDP governors there, there are 4 APC governors there, and that speaks volume. And that's one of the reasons why I like the idea of Dawn Commission being the think tank. By now, we are supposed to have train moving from Osun regularly, you understand, to Lagos. People can live in Oyo State and work in Lagos without necessarily sleeping, you know, in Lagos for 5 days. That's what happens between New Jersey. You live in New Jersey, you work in New York.
Even Washington, D.C. and Virginia,
Maryland. Close. So these are things that we should look at, we should support, and find a way to say, hey, there's no need to jackman. We can have, you know, very progressive development in this region. And trust me, competition can be very nice. Other regions will
healthy
competition. Other regions will pick it from where whatever Southwest is doing, because sometimes we always think the first thing is money. Have visions, have clear-cut, you know, development ideas, and we will see things taking shape.
And so when we talk about thinking out of the box, this is what we mean.
Yes. Absolutely.
Grab the bull by the horns.
By the horns, yes. You know, think for the future. Think beyond now.
Tomorrow, today.
Yes, think beyond the now. It's not just about now. You think 100 years ahead, you know, so that we'll have a great nation.
All right, then, let's move to our next story. This takes us to up north again. You know, amid growing reports of vandalism of critical national assets, especially power installations, there's a need for some checks, if you ask me. So Nigeria has decided to set up a special security